Ahí hay una punta de una peña que tiene de entrada y salida. Y allí venían dos compañeros buceando donde aprovecharon de que el mar estaba manso y penetraron con la intención de salir al otro lado. Y allí entonces fue cuando uno salió y el otro no. El otro quedó pegado. Ahí quedó él. Nunca, jamás volvió a salir. Sí, no salió.
This is the entirety of coastal Gigante. I wasn't the first, nor the last, to call this place my home. I was a filmmaker searching for a story, for adventure. A man from California once described this place to me as a new America, a new frontier. Somewhere where those dissatisfied or rejected with their homeland could begin again, starting from the ground up. A place where you could take your destiny by the collar, forging the trail ahead. The first to settle down here held similar ideas of manifest destiny, a clean slate to start their lives anew. As foreigners are beginning to call this place home, local Nicaraguans are still trying to spread their roots here after a new government redistributed land after the revolution. Gigante is on the cusp of change, just now being discovered by the outside world. It's the canary in the coal mine for the development that is coming to the coast.
Yo conocí el mar desde la edad de 8 años. Aquí me crié en todo este lugar. Yo le conozco aquí esta parte como la palma de mi mano.
Venimos aquí por medio de una cooperativa de tierra, pero eso no era mi trabajo en tierras, en agricultura. Yo todo el tiempo he sido pescador. La mayoría del pescador no somos, como le dijera yo, preparados ya para ir a agarrar por lo menos otro trabajo. Ya. Sí, tenemos que estar siempre en la pesca.
Antes, como le digo, yo era aquí, no se hallaba trabajo, no podía trabajar uno, no tenía plata, no había trabajo para trabajar, los niños llorando porque uno no. Hoy no, ya los niños desde chiquitos, ya estos niños, antes no habían colegio, muchos quedamos que no aprendimos a leer, ahora desde chiquito se pone el niño al colegio.
Me gustaba estudiar, pero no, o sea que como mis padres eran tan pobres, ya no pudieron seguir por los uniformes, los zapatos y todo eso, era difícil.
¿Qué espera que sus nietos hagan en el futuro?
Que, bueno, por lo menos que tengan empleo en un restaurante, como decir, de mesero, algo así, pues. El turismo, o sea, el americano está invirtiendo bastante aquí, haciendo hoteles, haciendo muchos edificios para atraer más el turista, entonces hay un poco más trabajo.
My name is John Eames. I'm from California, and I've been down here for about 7 years. Toast to work in paradise, right? I'm the founder of Gigante Bay, which is kind of an umbrella corporation for the Camino de Gigante Hostel, the Color Line Lodge, Casa Amarillo, Cascabel. I drove boats for 3 years, surfing these spots. Then I met my wife, had a baby, and then started business, and that's what I'm doing. What it is that we have now is what makes this place so beautiful. So my ability to preserve it ultimately establishes my success. As much of it that I can control is as much of it that I take responsibility for. I had the opportunity to live in Costa Rica when I was 19, so I got to see a similar place to Nicaragua now go through that process. No, I was kind of realistic in the beginning and accepting the change, realizing that these places were going to change.
Much of the change that John mentioned has come through surfing. The waves brought some of the first gringos here, and brings them still. 2 beaches down from Gigante, the ISA hosted the Masters World Cup at Playa Colorado. Surfing is just a small example of what the modern world is bringing to Gigante. Just across the bay, ground has been broken on Guacalito, a 1,600-acre mega-development. Guacalito is a project of Grupo Pelas, one of the largest corporations in Nicaragua. Its website boasts light, powdery sands, clear azure emerald waters shrouded in exuberant forest. For investors, Gigante is a destination. For those who live there, it's their home.
Gigante is going to take off and develop regardless of what what happens with Guacalito or what our role in Gigante is. But the idea is to open up Nicaragua in a way that's socially conscious, environmentally aware. There's a connectivity to the ocean.
If John Thompson sounds like a PR rep, it's because he is. His official title is Director of Corporate Social Responsibility, but he also has a Nicaraguan wife and child, and was the first gringo I met that didn't wear sandals, didn't even know how to surf. John's kid isn't the only one growing up here. The locals are finding hope in the future of their own children.
Así, por eso hemos luchado nosotros para que él estudie y se supere, ya que nosotros no pudimos. A mí me encantaría que él siguiera estudiando, que llegara a coronar su carrera, lo que él quiere, pues.
Pero tengo la esperanza de que en el futuro tengo nietos, ya esos tal vez van a salir beneficiados porque que vienen creciendo, que están desarrollando el inglés, ¿verdad?
English is going to open the doors, all types of doors for all types of people here in the communities around us. I wouldn't say, hey, stop surfing and hanging out with the tourists, because there's value in that too, but stay in school and stay close to the family.
We used to talk about this, how the kids need to see gringos as more than people with surfboards in hand and dollars in their pockets. A man named Andrew started a garden class to accomplish just that. A chance for the kids to interact with gringos through mutual teaching and learning, instead of giving and taking. Andrew works for Project WOO, the leading NGO in Gigante. WOO was started, as most things around here, by traveling surfers just out of the Peace Corps, and was passed down to Bo, who runs it currently.
My name is Bo Fox, and I originally come from Southern California, Los Angeles, and I work for Project Wave of Optimism, the program director here. We see community-driven development work as essentially any projects or initiatives that the community deems most important for their collective growth. In 2008, we initiated a transportation project, and that's kind of our flagship project to date. The primary focus is school transportation, and secondarily is non-student transportation, so opening up access to healthcare, etc.
I worked with Andrew on WOO's next project, a trash center for the community, a place to put trash to be collected instead of just burning it.
We're going to amplify pretty soon here. So that's what we're doing up here today. We're going to be cutting bamboo.
How many pieces of bamboo are we going to be cutting?
There's 75 pieces on this, so I think we're going to be cutting, I don't know, probably 4 tall stalks, cool. And then cutting out those down to what, about 37, and when we have that number, we'll be good.
When we're able to set a goal and accomplish it, and the community is the driving force, it's something that's going to improve their overall well-being, and being able to facilitate that process is pretty inspiring, pretty powerful.
As good as this seemed to us, when we got back to Gigante, the reality of where we were began to sink in. Days of construction turned into weeks. The locals who were slotted to help build found excuses, except for one who arrived drunk and then left.
We can come with all these different types of ideas and come with all of our great energy and resources, but we can't make you, someone from Gigante, do what we think you should do to best benefit from tourism. And that's the golden question.
Si tuviera la oportunidad de trabajar en un hotel y ganando un poco más, tuviera o no?
Claro que sí. Por lo menos ahorita como está esta situación de la pesca que es tan crítica, es bonito pues irse a agarrar un trabajo sabiendo que uno va a tener un salario fijo, ¿verdad?
I asked Mama Lynn the same question about working in a hotel instead of her restaurant.
Ah, claro, yo tengo la esperanza.
¿Sí?
Claro que yo tengo la esperanza. Y tengo la esperanza y le pido a Dios que ya no voy a irme yo a los hoteles, que me mejore el mío, ya cambiar eso.
I think it's pretty safe to say that the change that's happening and the change that's growing in Gigante is definitely happening faster than they're able to adapt. I mean, we're able to look at developed communities. I'd hate to see Gigante become San Juan del Sur. Foreign business comes in, takes over, local business can't compete, and then, you know, all of a sudden the local culture is non-existent.
San Juan del Sur used to be a small fishing town a few hours south of Gigante. In the last 20 years, though, it's seen a huge influx of development. Tourism brought money and everything that comes with it. The town began to see clubs, prostitution, gambling. But it also began to see paved streets, health clinics, and public parks. We find ourselves at John Thompson's golden question: who decides how to benefit from development? Those in Gigante are grappling with that question now, struggling to find solutions to the impending change. It becomes a matter of responsibility, especially considering the kids. Their future is the one on the table.
I think the kids don't have an outlet, they don't have alternatives. What I've seen happen in San Juan is that those young men create a lifestyle around leeching on to tourists. Kids are kids. I've been a kid, you know. I got into trouble. I'm not going to impose my will and my ideas on anybody, but we can at least make the effort to provide these opportunities for kids.
John happily showed me what he was talking about, a local baseball team that Guacalito was sponsoring for the kids to play their first season. The parents were happy to see their kids play, and the kids didn't seem to mind wearing Guacalito's name across their shoulders.
Pero a partir de un año para acá, sí, hemos tenido esa relación con Guacalito y el apoyo que nos han dado es muy importante, ha sido muy útil porque los han apoyado en diferentes formas. Ahora con la mayoría, con los niños, que por lo menos el primer año que ellos están jugando con el apoyo de ellos, porque no habíamos tenido ese apoyo para ellos.
Más importante ha sido que los niños nunca habían sido valorados, nunca se habían tenido ellos las oportunidades, que ellos no tenían nada, los pobrecitos. Entonces pues nosotros les damos las gracias a ellos, ¿verdad? Porque ahora sí ellos nos han respondido y esperamos pues que así como nos han apoyado, nos sigan apoyando más en el futuro.
We're here to impact that change as much as possible in a positive way. So we're able to share with the local community members who we are, the face of development, which is you, which is me, which is anyone that comes down here to enjoy the coast. And that's very important because the more these two communities grow, face of development, the local community, and the more presence we have of the foreign, the development face, the less understanding there is unless there's efforts to connect those communities.
It's easy to be cynical about a place like Gigante, fatalistic in the face of positive change. Kids playing baseball as they advertise the corporation building timeshares 3 kilometers down. Locals giving up lifestyles they've sworn by for decades for the chance at a few dollars more working with the tourists. A huge celebration and painting ceremony for a trash center that was largely built by one man. A gringo volunteer. But you can't let cynicism dictate the future. I still struggle to break my own preconceptions of how things should be here. But that's it, they're mine, my own ideas, not Gigante's. They're how I think things should be. It's like Don Rufino's legend. A place like this pulls you in. It never really lets you go.
Ahora esperamos que venga otra más mejor de la que tenemos.
¿Cómo?
Que venga mejor, que venga vengan más extranjeros, que la comunidad de que se despierte más, que mejore más, ya.
We have a responsibility to this place that marked us so deeply. Let Gigante speak to us, work together to guide the future. A man smarter than me may have summed it up best. For this is what we do. Add our little consequence to the tides of good and evil that flood the world. Push our brave hearts into the promise of a new day. For so long as fate keeps waiting, we live on. God help us. God forgive us. We live on.